Next, what we're going to do is create an effect known as masking using the track matte effect. And what that's going to allow us to do, it's going to create, so you can see here, this is going to be the mask. In this case, it's this speech bubble on video track 3. And I've got two tracks below that. So one, I've got this track of just this kayaker, it's just a still image, and above that I have a video playing. So what's going to happen when I go to play this video, and now I've just moved that, so 1 second. Okay, so now I've got it back in position. So when I go to play it, there's the still image and the speech bubble is creating a mask that allows me to see down below the video below that. So using that effect, we could have done the picture-in-picture technique using a mask like this, but it's a little bit more difficult, but at the same time it allows us to do so much more. So here, for example, I've just created an Adobe title, and down below is a video track playing. So anywhere that it's white in the title, and I can just extend that so it plays a little bit longer. So that anywhere that was white is just literally like the eyes of a mask that lets you see down below into the track below. So how do we do that? The first thing we need to do is we need to create our mask in Photoshop Element. So here I am in Photoshop Elements. So I'm going to create a new file, a new image. So I go to New, Blank File. And the nice thing is there are some presets here. So if I go to Preset, I can go to the Film and Video presets that already have the size already set up for me. So here you can see I can select my size. In my case, I'm going to choose NTSC widescreen because NTSC is the North American standard. I know that I'm creating a digital video, it's widescreen. If you're in Europe or somewhere else, you might be choosing PAL. So you're going to select the size that you want. The only other thing I need to change is the background color. I don't want it to be white. I'm going to set this to the background color that I have already set up over here in my color palettes to be black. So anywhere that's going to be black is not going to show through. So now you can see these guides here, all they are, they're sort of guides to let you know that if you stay within these guides, when you play your video on a standard television set, everything is going to show up. If you go outside of these guides, they might not show up on a standard television. So I'm going to try and stay inside of those guides. I'm going to select my text. I'm going to choose a nice wide text. In this case, this wide Latin text. I've got my size set. I've set my color to white because remember anything that's white is going to show through, and I just type in Adobe. I can go to the Move tool, and by doing that, see if I can just get that selected, I can move it around, I can increase the size a little, but I don't have to worry too much about this because once I get this into Premiere, I can make those adjustments there too. But before I do leave Photoshop, what I want to do is instead of having these sharp edges, remember anywhere that's white is going to show through. So right now it has these sharp white edges. If I soften those up a little bit, it's not going to look quite as sharp in the video. But maybe that's what you want. But if you want some softer edges, what you can do is first of all just make sure I'm on the right layer. So make sure you're on the text layer. Go to Filter, Blur, and this is a Gaussian blur that I'm going to apply. And you can see as I increase the radius, that's going to be way too much softening. If I go down to 0, I've got those hard edges again. In this case, really I just need about 2.5 pixels. And what that's going to do is anywhere that's black is not going to show through. Anywhere that's white, the video is going to let the video through. And now these edges have sort of this gray soft edge. So anywhere that's gray means some of the video will show through and some of it won't. Okay, so I've got my mask set up how I want it. I need to save it. I can save it as a Photoshop file, so I don't need to change it to any other file type. So I'll just give it a name. Save it, and now I'm ready to go back to. So here I am, I'm back in Premiere, and I've got on video 1, I've got the kayaking video that I want to show through. So I'll go back to where I want to put in my mask. So here's the mask that I created, title 3.psd. I put it on the video track, in this case video track 2. I can extend the time that it's going to play. And you can see as I scrub across it, all that's happening is when I've put this on the mask on video track 2, it's just covering up my entire video down below. So how do I get it to show through? So I select the video that I want to show through, and now I'm going to go to Effects, and the effect is a matte. So here I've just typed in matte to find it, and I'm going to apply the track matte key. So I'm going to take that special effect, I'm going to drag it onto the video track 1, onto the clip that I want to show through. And now when I go to the properties for that clip, you can see image control, motion, and opacity are already there, but now I've added that special effect, the track matte. So here I have to select, okay, which track do I want to have the mask coming from? So remember I applied that to video track 2, so I select that, and up it shows. But it's still not doing what I want it to do, because what I need to do is just change this value to matte luma. That's going to allow anywhere that's white to show through. So now you can see I've got what I want, and if I just scrub along, I can see the video below is going to play through it. That's on track 1. And now, like I said from before, what I can do is I can just go to this track, the mask that I've created, select that track, and I can resize that if I want, or put it into a different position. I could have resized from here. So get that how I want, and now I'll have a look and see how that. So I'm just going to hit the play button. And so now you can see anywhere that was white, just like the eyeballs of a mask, are allow me to look down below into the track below, and that's what's showing through. So all sorts of effects that you can create with that. And once you've created that mask, now what I can do is I can manipulate the mask or change that mask over time, so that, for example, I might have it grow or move around on the screen, and wherever it moves, the video below is going to show through. So to do that, if I make sure that I'm on video track 2, I go to the first frame for that, where that mask is, and I might decide, oh, I want it when it first starts to be just barely visible. So I'll take that scale, I'm just going to move that up a little bit. Sorry. And then when I get to the last frame, sorry, what I should have done first is I should have set what's called, these are the keyframes. So when I click on this little stopwatch, it's going to set keyframes. So this tells it when it's at this frame, the scale is only going to be 27%. And now, over time, when I move this to the end, and I get to the last frame, I can say, I'm going to add another keyframe, and I want this to be 341%. So you can see I've got those 2 keyframes there now. So what's going to happen, you can see as I move the timeline marker, as I go forward in time, that's going to get bigger. So let's have a look and see what that's going to look like. And here I'll hit play. So now you can see that the Adobe text is growing over time, and so more and more of the video is showing through until eventually we just end up with just a couple of the Adobe letters there. So all sorts of things that you can do by creating those masks. Just use your imagination and have fun with it.